Hello everyone, welcome back to my kitchen. I'm Valmore. This week from Hero's Feast is a soup that, alongside the meatballs from a couple of weeks ago, are the starter dishes for a dwarven meal. You and I could eat this soup as its meal on its own, but you would never want to serve this to a dwarf without some meat to go along with it. This is potato and leek soup. Let's get started. So for this recipe, I'm going to cut up some potatoes, leeks, and thyme. The recipe also called for celery, and even though I read the recipe 3 times before putting together my shopping list, I forgot celery. I'm going to start this by frying up some bacon for quite a bit of time until it gets nice and crispy. And now into the rendered fat, I'm going to add the leeks. This is also where I would add the celery if I had remembered to buy it. And I'm going to let this soften for a few minutes. Now that those are softened up, I'm going to add the potatoes, chicken broth, and some salt. And I'm going to let that simmer until the potatoes soften. The dwarven creation myth in Faerun, at least from the perspective of the dwarves, is that the god Moradin created the dwarves in his forge, called the Soul Forge, in the heart of the planet. The dwarves then fought their way through beast and monster and rock to the surface. The first dwarves arriving in the Yehimal Mountains, creating their first kingdom underneath a junction that separated the continents of Faerun, Karator, and Zakara. From there they spread out across the land in every direction, splitting into the different groups that currently exist today. And now that the potatoes are soft, I'm going to blend everything together. Now I am going to mix in the heavy cream. And I'm going to let this simmer together and thicken up a bit. And then season it with a little bit of pepper and a bit more salt. And then add in most of the bacon and just mix everything around. So this is absolutely one of those dishes that should show up in every tavern in your games. The ingredients are so simple to find, and it's such a thick and hearty chowder, really, that it would be an absolutely filling for most any adventurer. And I can tell you that this dish was amazing. Like I said, the consistency was more chowder-like, and it was wonderful. And the leeks in this are fantastic. And I had a conversation recently about how this cookbook showed me the wonder of leeks. Because before this, I hadn't really used them all that often. And in this cookbook, outside of like the herbs and salt and pepper, this is one of the most common ingredients that is used. And I love them. They're great. I'm a huge fan of them now. Like I said, overall, this was an absolutely fantastic dish. Probably making it one of my favorites now from this cookbook. I hope you enjoyed. You can follow me on Instagram or Twitter at chef_Valmore. The links are in the description below. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and come on back next week for another recipe.